Hello everybody, today I wanted to go over the GTA Trilogy because it came out a week ago, and I was going to actually make this video a couple days ago, but unfortunately Rockstar took it off their launcher due to unintentional files because of course, this is the type of company not to go over files before releasing a game. So today I want to discuss about whether this game is worth purchasing or not. We're going to go over graphics, gameplay, see how mechanics changed, and just all that good stuff, and maybe go over some of the reviews. So far, I've had about 10 hours into the game, and honestly, I don't know what to say. It's San Andreas, Vice City, and GTA 3, and of course they're going to be the same as how they were back in early 2000s, but mostly than that, it's just the graphics and all the mechanics what we'll be covering today. So let's get into the video. So the first thing I have to mention right off the bat here is that I'm really disappointed with Rockstar because they didn't do this remaster themselves. If they did, it would have been a lot better, but they hired Grove Street Games, and this is someone who makes mobile apps for iOS and Android, so obviously it's going to be, it is a shit remaster, I have to mention. So I'm really disappointed in them, but obviously this is a cash grab, so they're just trying to go with the cheapest route as possible. But it isn't that terrible, except the fucking rain in this game is an absolute fucking nightmare. You're just so fucking blinded you can't even see. And just some of the fucking characters in the game just look like fucking Sims 4 or some shit. And just a really shit detailing job on some of these characters, which I'm truly disappointed in. And the fact that they just like, oh yeah, that looks good enough, let's release the game, you know, let's not fix that. Because like, there's a couple of characters I have to mention about, which is probably number one is Denise. That looks just fucking terrible, I have to say. So yeah, I don't know why, but this is just, it's kind of out of hand, but it's also just, it's not bad. And even though the characters look pretty wonky and the rain is just pure garbage, I have to say they did a really good job with detailing the buildings, like all the skyscrapers, because they look a lot better than the original game. And all the textures, like on the roads, the sidewalks, the trees, it just looks so much better. And they did a really good job with that. And I have to say, with some of the missions, the interior is just very well detailed. And I also noticed in cars, there's now like the speedometer, there's a radio. Even though there is no first person, you can still see it. So they did spend some time detailing most of that stuff. And I have to say, they did a really well job. Especially with some of the houses, like, you know, CJ's house. It looks pretty good in the inside. And just the textures on the wall and all that. I have to say, those have really improved. But it's kind of funny though, because some stuff is like so well textured, like, or detailed, and what I'm trying to say. It's so well detailed, but then there's just some other stuff, like, I feel like the grass could be more. The grass still kind of feels the same, even though it's 3D, because the original was 2D, but this one's 3D now, that has 3D grass, and like, you can walk and it'll move and shit. I felt like they could do a better job with that. It still feels the same as the original, and some stuff just feels like where they put way like a huge amount of detail in when they had other stuff they could have been working on. And most objects have been kept the same since the original game, and I really wish they fixed the trees. Because now this is just my opinion, but I feel like when you move out of the San Andreas area, the trees like at Mount Chiliad, it kind of bothers me because it just feels copy and pasted. They're planted out of like nowhere, and they just don't look good at all. I mean, like the leaves, they're well detailed, but just how they're placed, it kind of looks like shit. And I wish they fixed it, because I've never really enjoyed that since the original game. Just the way they're planted, they look all the same, just copy and pasted. And I wish they would have done something with that, even though, yeah, they didn't really mess around with most objects. They just either changed the texture or made it more detailed. But I wish they did something more with the trees, because the trees still look kind of weird. So when it comes to controls, I've been reading a lot online about this, and a lot of people are actually pissed off how they had the new GTA 5 kind of control feel. They wish they kept it original, because, you know, some people wanted this game to be original as possible, which I kind of see it being that way anyways, but I have to say, I am so glad they fixed the controlling, because if you're playing on controller, you press B to shoot and R2 to fucking aim. That is just, I don't know how, because like most modern games today, they don't have that kind of controlling. So if I was going to play on control, that would fuck with me. So just to all the people out there who wish it was still the same kind of controls, fuck you, because no, that shit was just retarded. To shoot pressing B or circle, that shit was fucking retarded. That's one thing I remember why I would not play it on PlayStation 2, is because the controls kept fucking with me. So I'm definitely glad they fixed the controlling, because now it's so much easier to play the game, and then if I want to play another game, it's not tripping me out or anything like that. So one of the first things I did when I started up San Andreas was fucking use the cheat codes to get myself a Hydra, because that was the #1 thing I remember doing from the early 2000s, and I have to say, flying in the game just sucks. They totally ruined it, because now there's no fog. Now you can tell if you're going to crash into a tree or not. You won't be fucking scared. You can see the whole entire map, and it just looks like fucking shit. I hope they fix this in one of the updates, because just the map, being able to see the whole map, it looks like shit. And to see it in GTA 5, the game looks a lot better. But in this game, they should have put some kind of fog, because just everything looks like pure garbage. So they kind of ruined flying for me, because it's just so much uglier and you can see how small the world is. So I kind of stay away from that. But anyways, if you're looking for the answer on whether or not you should buy this game, this is what I have to say. If you already own the game on PlayStation 2, then don't fucking get it. Even though there's better controls and maybe stuff is more well detailed, I have to say, the old San Andreas is pretty damn good. That doesn't mean you should go out and get a PlayStation 2 and fucking buy all the games, then buy the fucking remastered version. But yeah, if you own the OG copies, then I would just say stick with that and don't upgrade to the definitive edition, because honestly, this is just a cash grab from Rockstar, and it could have been way much better. But if you don't own a copy and you played the game before, I definitely recommend buying it, because it will bring back so many memories. People are complaining about how they took out some of the songs, but I think it's like maybe 2 out of each station, if maybe even less. I don't get, people just fucking complain. I don't really care, but it definitely brings back many memories, and it's definitely worth getting if you don't already have a copy of this game. And yeah, I think this is, like I said, it's an okay remaster. I don't really have, it leans onto the bad side, because like I said, it could have been a lot better. But I definitely think it's worth getting, because, you know, these games are definitely one of the best Rockstar's ever made, and the controls are just much more better than they were before. So yeah, that's basically all I have to say.